Welcome back to yet again another episode of The Natty Teacher. I am, of course, your host. Who else but The Natty Teacher? And today we got a pull day. Our pull. I almost thought for some reason it was push again. Nah, it's pull A session to be exact. And that is the plan. So what do we have on that session? Well, we got a few things. One, to get us started, do a couple rounds of mobility work, get the lats opened up, back opened up, nice and ready to rock and roll for some pull downs and some rows and all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll jump into that first. We'll have a couple rounds of mobility work, some body weight and banded stuff, and then we'll go into our first movement, which is going to be a lat pull down, but I'm going to be using a not neutral grip, but like a shoulder width neutral grip. I actually have the bar in my car. I don't know, sometimes with the straight bar, I kind of ebb and flow with my straight bar pull downs. Like sometimes I feel like I connect pretty well with it, and then other times I just feel like I'm not actually hitting my lats. And so whenever I have more of a neutral grip and I have the bar more out in front of me, that's where I actually seem to get more of that connection into the lats, if that makes sense. So I'm going to bring that bar in. I'll just leave it at the gym. Anybody can use it because it's a bar that I have. It's brought it. One I've had for years. So, So I'll bring that in and give that a whirl for our first exercise. Then we have a chest-supported row after that. Then after our chest-supported with the grip, like this bicycle grip I call it. I think that's what, supinated with the hands down, or pronated. I don't know. I always get supinated, pronated, flipped. I don't know. So we will go into that, and then we have our bent over Smith machine rows. Really been connecting with those lately. I've lowered the load a little bit, maybe 10%, so nothing like crazy. So my top sets usually are still about 2 1/4 plates on the Smith, and that is not a light Smith machine ever. I think that bar is no less than 25 pounds. Still moving some pretty good weight. I will do 2 sets there. Then we have our single arm iliac lat pull down, so driving the elbow out in front of the body, driving it down into the lower portion of the lat. And then I believe we have our single arm seated rows to end. Yeah, we might do seated rows before that single arm pull down. Quite a bit of unilateral work today. Pretty fair amount, I believe. 2 of my 5 exercises. Yeah, 2 of the 5. So, 40% of my training today is unilateral. So it's good. Unilateral stuff for the back too is really good for sure, especially if you have a weaker side, a weaker pulling arm, or a weaker, half of the back. Unilateral work can be really, really good, especially for the back, definitely, and for the legs too, for sure. And then we have a little bit of direct bicep work today as well, in the form of machine preacher curls. I'm going to see where my energy levels are at the end there, because I'm still feeling pretty good. I've been liking, I want to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week in my training. Kind of can rotate days with it, just as long as I have enough rest before I have another upper body day, which in this case I do. I might throw in a little bit of direct forearm work as well, just in the form of maybe some behind the back wrist curls with a barbell, or kneeling wrist curls with dumbbells over the bench, something like that. So we'll throw in a couple sets of forearms too. Again, as long as I'm feeling pretty good, as long as everything's good. Again, that one kind of rotates more. You know what I mean? I've been contemplating throwing back into third day at calves as well, and that third day would be a floating day where I have my set days. I train calves, of course, on both my leg days, and then throw in another kind of floating calf session as well in one of my upper days. So again, as long as I get enough time to recover, I'm good. But yeah, man, my gut's been I don't know what it's been today. I don't think it's a bug or anything like that. I think I might have just been, I don't know if I'm backed up a little bit, or if stuff kind of is moving around a little different. I can tell my digestion today has been off a little bit. I've used the bathroom and stuff, but I know I'm probably being a little too transparent. But I can just tell things in my gut are moving a little different today. is all. So I'm hoping I kind of had a more stagnant day. Like I wasn't moving around so much. Like usually when I'm up teaching, like I move around quite a bit, like pretty much the whole day. I'm kind of up out of my seat, you know, maybe minus like 1 or 2 hours in the day. Oh, my work day is. So I totally just lost my train of thought. So I don't know if maybe that's it, you know, where I just wasn't moving around as much, and so my gut hasn't been as like motile and isn't like, you know, moving as much either. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping a good workout here and like getting up and moving and in the gym and all that kind of stuff will loosen things up a little bit and kind of get it moving and go from there. That's the goal, at least. So hoping and praying that's the case. But I do have a refeed meal slotted for tonight. So remember, guys, on prep, I have 1 refeed meal per week. Usually it falls on Fridays because that's just kind of like a fun Friday night thing. Sometimes it's on a rest day, sometimes it's on a training day. Today it happens to be on a training day. And my refeed meal, just to keep it in perspective for you, is literally just New York strip steak, flavored rice, and a Ninja Creamy that consists of only almond milk and whey isolate. So definitely going to get some extra protein today for sure. Definitely. And yeah, so that's it. So again, nothing super crazy. Still have my fruit and vegetables with that meal as well. You know, not like you got, like I'm not, you know, on prep here. I'm not trying to go for something that's going to digest poorly or like risk having something digest poorly. You know, today I broke into the 220s. There was only one other time so far in prep that I had, you know, broke into the 220s. So pretty cool stuff, you know, 229.8, so barely, but still there. Not that the scale is everything, of course, but it, you know, does signify something. So I am glad to have done that. So, you know, this refeed meal might spike that up a little bit for the morning, just because just purely the volume of food is going to be a little bit higher. So it's just going to fill my gut a little bit more, but shouldn't be anything too drastic. So anyways, I'm about to be to the gym in just a minute or so here, so I'm going to get in there, get warmed up, get ready to rock and roll, and I will catch you guys for the top set of my first exercise, again being more of that not close grip lat pull down, but more of a neutral grip, like shoulder width grip with a neutral handle lat pull down. And that'll be coming at you right about now.
All right, so to get us started here is that, again, slightly inside shoulder width grip, lat pull down where the thumbs are pointed behind the body here, or facing towards the body, I should say. And I really like this one. Again, it was definitely a little bit of an adjustment. I had to kind of play with it a little bit to make sure that I could get it into a comfortable spot, although I kind of caught back on pretty quick. Again, very simple, guys. We're just driving those elbows down through the lats, not trying to lean back too much, not trying to lean forward too much, not overstretch, not understretch. Just find that sweet spot for me, and if you guys do an exercise like this, you got to find that sweet spot for you. So really great back builder here. Excited to run this one for quite some time here in prep. Was kind of getting a little bored of the straight bar, so switched out the attachment. Then we have a chest supported row. The only thing that I, again, not even really disliked about this is I had my feet here a little too far forward. Usually I have those feet a little bit further back and kind of lean into that pad a little bit more. I think that would help me kind of clean up a little bit. Not that this is bad form at all, but I think I could have done it even better, put it that way. But was still able to add a rep, even though I was still feeling a little off. I couldn't really connect with this one great, but ended up still rocking out 2 hard working sets here. And, we got the full stack and the added weights, and I also added 15 pounds to it as well for a top set of 8. So felt really good. Now, speaking of something that felt really good was this Smith row. If you guys have watched my videos in the past, I would normally work with closer to 3 plates. I backed down the weight a little while ago and just really tried to stay bent over it more. Not to like 90 degrees, but making it more of a legit bent over row, trying to drive those elbows back through the lats a little more. And it has made this exercise for me a lot more of a lat focused exercise than just like a upper mid back exercise where I was more upright and just loading that area. So felt really good. We did 2 sets there at 2 1/4. Then this one is my 4th exercise in the workout here. And guys, it can't really get much simpler. We essentially are just doing a row that, single arm row off the cable tower. I would say this is still pretty focused on the lats based on where I drive that elbow back through, but honestly could make a pretty good argument for that mid upper back as well. Just a good unilateral rowing movement. The tension on this is really, really smooth. That's why I take a cable over like a dumbbell pretty much any day for back, to be honest with you, just because of the amount of tension you're able to keep on the exercise throughout the entire range of motion. So was able to add, as crazy as it sounds, 3 reps per arm to this from the previous week, because the previous week was the first time running this in a training block at this particular angle. At least I've done exercises similar in the past, but my body acclimated very quickly and was able to add some reps on. So we're definitely going to go up in weight in the next session. So felt really good. Then just some good old school neutral grip pull downs here. Again, this one I do like to take down to where my thumbs actually touch my, kind of the lower portion of my pec. So really, really try to pull this one pretty deep. I like to just pull hard down, put it that way. That's it. There's my cue for you. Pull hard down and make sure that we're not rocking through it too hard. A little bit of body English definitely never hurt nobody. But this one I've noticed I really connect with it well when I stay a little bit more stationary. You can see that I'm not like swaying back and forth. I'm really, really trying to drive down, with that back and go from there. So everything you've seen so far, by the way, is 2 working sets, top set, back off set setup. Some of the working sets at the same weight, like this one, I did 2 sets at this weight. So 5 exercises for back, and I love it. So anyway, some machine preachers. As you can see, I did kind of that half rep to get started. I'm doing that. It's kind of like what's a good way to work it? Just kind of like a starter rep. Like I don't count that rep, but it just kind of gets. I used to like cold start this, where I would just curl. My first rep would be right from the bottom like that. And I have used that little cue for quite a few exercises to kind of, like I said, just kind of like cold start it a little bit. Or excuse me, to avoid cold starting it, I should say. Kind of do like a little quarter or half rep just to get the weight up in your hands and go from there. It's worked really well for me. So we did 3 working sets here for machine preachers. And I also did 3 working sets of some heavy weighted abdominal crunches. I did not film that though. So that won't be on here. But anyways, good to be back. See you in the outro.
All right. Pull A in the books. Okay, great workout, man. It's funny. Kind of felt like I had a little bit of a slow start. Like my rowing, let me be specific. My chest supported rowing felt like super heavy today. Super heavy today. I was like, oh man. I'm barely getting, into my sets, or like barely getting through my sets. I'm like, golly, it feels heavy. But I still hit what I needed to hit. We'll continue to make sure we, stay at that weight for a little bit, make sure it tightens up, gets cleaner and cleaner and better, even as we get lighter and lighter. And I was kind of a little, I don't want to say disheartened, but I was just like, man, like I'm feeling it. You know what I mean? Like I'm feeling it on this one. And then I went over to my Smith rows, felt great. 2 plates and a quarter for 2 working sets. Top set of 10, back off set of 8. And I was like, all right, that's cool. So that felt awesome. And then went into my single arm cable rows. Literally, and now, mind you, this adaptation is, I had done that for the first time in my last pull A session. I did that row variation, the single arm cable row, on the incline bench. And I did I think sets of 8 with like 175 on there, something like that. And today I did like a set of 11 and a set of 10. So I added 3 reps to my top set. And I was like, all right, well, that was sick. And it was clean too. It was very clean still. At least for the most part, it seemed very, very clean, seemed like a good addition. Mind you, you got to remember, sometimes when you make those big jumps, it's not strength, it's more just adaptation, meaning your body is like, oh, we did this range of motion before, we've done this movement before, now let's just do it again. Now all we got to do is do it again. You know what I mean? And I think that played a big role for sure. My goal would be to full stack that single arm. I've done rows like that single arm before full stack, but the range of motion wasn't very good. That range of motion is really good. That's like back to the side of the body, and like a squeeze as well. Not that the squeeze is everything, but it is just really, it's something, put it that way. You know what I mean? To quote, feel it more, even though feel isn't always everything, for sure. But yeah, so that felt really good. Went to my neutral grip pull downs, added like 2 reps to my top set there, and almost 2 reps to my back off set too. It just felt really good. It was nice redemption. There's one movement and you got to remember, I've already done like 5 back movements. At this point, I've done 10 working sets of back with like 5 different back movements. So it's a nice amount of variety. And at that point, my arms are just like noodles. but I still try to throw in a little bit of direct bicep work. And we have this machine preacher curl, which I've used in the past and liked, and I've done like single arm variations and kind of liked it. For some reason, as of like lately trying to use it, I just cannot connect with it. So I think I'm gonna go and just go back to like a single arm cable curl or something like that. You know, something I know I can for sure connect with, like a Bayesian curl maybe, something like that. And, you know, go from there. That's kind of my plan of attack with that from here on out. Again, just purely because I just cannot seem to connect with it. I don't know why. Just cannot make that connection. So I kind of just forced myself. Like, I did my first set, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not just gonna do one set and do something else. Like, it's probably silly. I definitely could have, but I was like, all right, well, let's just rock this out. I'll do my 3 working sets here, go from there. I did do 3 working sets of some heavier cable crunches as well. So just as a heads up for that, to do that as well. So that felt good. Kept the reps all above 10 there as well. So I think it was like 12, 10, 10 for those 3. And it was full stack plus 10 pounds. Not that maxing out one side of a cable is super hard, but it is something for sure. So anyways, yeah, whatever's in my gut. I think I had a bunch of, like, honestly, and it's probably TMI, but sometimes this does happen, so be ready. Like, every once in a while, your body will just do this. I feel like I have a bunch of, like, backed up gas. Like I've tried to, like, I don't want to say force it out, and again, way too much TMI, I apologize. But I can tell, like, up in my upper abdomen, I just have, like, a bunch of backed up gas. Like, I can just tell that I have, like, just air trapped in there. Because my stomach doesn't, like, hurt. It just feels, like, distended. And it doesn't even really, like when I feel like touch with my hand, it doesn't feel overly distended. Just, like, internally feels, like, pooched out. And it's kind of like, ugh. So, yeah. But, yeah, all in all, though, still really, really awesome workout. Still great stuff, no doubt. And, okay, not much more to say, man. My wife and I, we still got to do some errands later, do our grocery shopping. So I'm gonna go home, get my post-workout meal in real quick, amundo, and then we'll go out and get our groceries for the week. Go from there. I'll tell you, this is totally random, and if you've made it this far in the outro, that surprises me. I don't know how many people actually, like, watch these, but one thing my wife and I decided to do as of late for just a little bit better money management, to put it bluntly, we opened up a essentially separate checking account, and we linked all of our bills only to that account. So, like, basically my wife, like, I get paid bi-weekly, I get paid every 2 weeks. My wife gets paid a lump sum at the last day of the month, last weekday of the month. And so what we decided to do was, like, her check would go into there, and then we linked all of our bills to essentially immediately come out of just that account. And we always made sure we have, like, enough money in that account. We calculated it all out, or should say she really did in that part. She calculated it all out, put all our bills in that account. We linked all our bills to that account. And so it's just auto, like, we don't even got to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even like we have, like, our regular checking account where my checks go into, and that's, like, our spending money. So that's what I buy my supplements with. That's what we buy our groceries with. That's what we get our gas with. That's what we get, anything for our daughter, anything, like, for each other, ourselves, whatever, like, that strictly comes out of that account. And then also we have a separate savings account where, like, it automatically every 2 weeks when I get paid, a little chunk of that paycheck goes into savings as well. Moral of the story: we never did stuff like this in the past, and already I can tell it's a really cool feeling to, like, we both got paid on the same day today, and it's a really cool feeling to see, like, our money separated into other accounts, and it makes you feel like you got more money. It really does, because you're already, like, you're not having to worry about your bills. You're not having, what day does this come out? Because then I got to calculate it out for this. And, like, how much can we spend on groceries this week because we got this bill coming out? Like, which, again, is par for the course. Like, it's normal, like, money management kind of stuff. Just making sure you're not missing a bill or missing a payment or something. But, it is a really cool thing to know, like, all that stuff's just linked up and will just come out of there. And we can just, focus on the number that's in our regular checking account to spend over the next couple weeks before I get paid again. So again, cool little thing, cool idea, totally random, absolutely nothing to do with bodybuilding, but I guess also kind of is, because that's how I purchase things to help me be a better bodybuilder. But yeah, so anyways, that's all I got, man. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in and watching. If you got any comments, questions, feedback, anything like that for me, make sure you drop those down in the comments section below. When I see them, I absolutely will respond to them. If you like the video, make sure you drop it a like, maybe even give it a share. That would be cool. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button real quick, see more of this content. And again, guys, hey, I really appreciate y'all watching, appreciate y'all tuning in. I apologize for that gap in uploads for a while. I just feel like I don't know, I almost lost motivation just for like uploading for YouTube. Like my days have gotten, they're just busy, I'll be honest with you. Like, you know, especially like post Christmas break and stuff, like it's just that my days just are jam-packed. Like I just have a lot of things from start to finish. Like, I mean, I'm getting home from the gym now and it's 6 o'clock at night, you know, and I still got to go grocery shop. I still got to eat a couple times, you know, so make breakfast for the morning. And so by the time all that stuff's done, I mean, it's, you know, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I haven't really sat down other than to eat, you know what I mean? So it is just kind of one of those things where it gets busy, but I do apologize for the hiatus, and you know, we're hopefully back to it pretty consistently here. So anyways, again, appreciate y'all tuning in, appreciate y'all watching, and for myself, the Natty Teacher, and the entire Natty family, this episode of Road to Natty Pro, one of many more to come, is out. I don't know if I said it or not, but I'll say it again. Above everything, God bless. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.